Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I'll be providing a gymnastic rings push-pull routine that'll focus on hypertrophy and overall ring development. First, let's go over who this will be best suited for and a breakdown of the routine. This routine will be best for beginners who've put some time into training the basics already and intermediate individuals, both looking to gain some size and improve proficiency on the rings. If you're an absolute beginner who has yet to learn the basics, I do not recommend this routine just yet. Instead, I recommend checking out my full body beginner calisthenics routine. Now, this routine has two options and can of course be manipulated in whichever manner suits your goals best. I gave two options so that you can get an idea of what you would like to focus on and go from there. Each option has one pushing static exercise to start with, one compound superset, one isolation superset, and one pulling static exercise to finish with. Option 1 will have a vertical push-pull compound set and is more arms focused. Option 2 will have a horizontal push-pull compound set and is more chest and back focused. As you'll notice for both options, I included the support hold in the beginning and hangs at the end. As I go over option 1, I'll explain why I included the support hold and the hangs. For both of these options, I have full-length videos going over each of these exercises and how to perform them if needed, as I will not be going into depth in this video on the form required. So if you want a refresher or want to ensure that you're hitting these exercises properly, I'll leave a link to each video in the description down below. Alright, now let's go over option 1. Starting with the support hold. Here, we're going to use the support hold as an extra form of prepping our body and work on enhancing our stability and straight arm strength. The goal here is to not go to failure. I recommend 3 to 4 sets with hold times ranging anywhere from 10 seconds to 30 seconds. Choose a time where you can leave another 5 to 10 seconds in the tank and rest anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes. If you're a beginner still working on holds, I recommend a neutral grip, and if you're intermediate and have trained these in the past, try to go for a rings turned out position. I included the support hold for both options because it's a foundational isometric hold with rings that you'll want to improve on if your focus is to become more stable on rings and improve straight arm strength. It's also a great way to prepare the body for the upcoming work. So once you finish your support hold sets, we'll move on to our compound superset. For option 1, we have 2 vertical compound movements that we will be supersetting. And for those of you who don't know what a superset is, it's when you perform 2 exercises back to back, usually an agonist and antagonist muscle group. In this case, we're going from the pull-up to the dip. So once you perform your pull-ups with little to no rest, you will go straight into the dips. After you complete the dips, you will rest for a longer period of time. Generally, these two tend to be difficult compound exercises that most can improve on, and it's tougher to manipulate the intensity as we will not have our feet placed on the ground. The pull-up and dip both have the ability to effectively develop your pulling and pushing strength while helping you pack on some muscle. Supersetting these will be tough, but it's a great way to add a lot of volume while training opposing muscle groups, work on your general fitness, and make it time efficient. The downside here will be ring placement. Depending on your anchor point height and where you need the rings, you may have to change ring placement after finishing pull-ups if the rings are too high for your dip setup. The goal here is to use a full range of motion for both exercises and control your negatives. For the pull-ups, choose what's most comfortable for you in terms of hand placement. If a neutral grip or a chin-up grip suits you and your goals best and will allow for more efficient pull-ups, go with either of those options. Just focus on clean and controlled repetitions. For the dips, finish at the top with either a neutral hold or a rings turned out position. If the top portion is something you want to work on, hold at the top for 1 second. It might not seem like it, but you can benefit greatly from this 1 second pause, and it's worth adding it in for a stronger contraction at the top. So once you've completed your pull-up dip superset, rest anywhere from 3 to 4 minutes. The reason for this rest time recommendation is because after supersetting, you'll most likely be fatigued, and we're looking to execute each set with proficient reps and keep our total volume high. If we rest for too little, you could notice the rep count and proficiency decrease with each set. So choosing anywhere from 3 to 4 minutes should do the trick. Next, we'll move on to our isolation superset. For our isolation superset, we have the bodyweight bicep curl and the tricep extension. Choose a ring placement and body position that will allow you to hit anywhere from 10 to 15 repetitions per set. I tend to find the rings at hip height works for me when going for bodyweight bicep curls to the tricep extension, so play around with what can work for you. For the bodyweight bicep curl, really squeeze those biceps at the top and control the negative. Remember, the goal is to get into that higher rep range of 10 to 15. If you notice the current position you're working with is too difficult, simply walk backwards to reduce the intensity. Once you finish those, go straight into your tricep extensions. The same will go for the tricep extension. Contract those triceps at the top and control yourself on the way down. If it's too difficult, either move forward a bit or raise the rings to reduce the intensity. After your set, rest anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes and repeat for 3 to 4 sets. Once you've completed the isolation superset, it's time to move on to hangs. Simply put, you'll choose a total time to hang for and take as many sets as needed to hit that total time. This is a method I picked up from Daniel Vadnal's Body by Rings program, and I find it to be a great way to work on your hang time at your own pace. Rest for a minute or less between each of your sets. The further you reduce the rest time, the harder it becomes. Choose a goal time anywhere from 1 minute to 2 minutes. If those are too easy for you and you can do those times within 3 sets, increase the goal time. For hangs, I included these at the end for both options to help improve forearm size and grip strength. Most of us may be lacking in our grip strength, which can be an issue for most of us when it comes to hitting higher rep ranges or loads that we are not yet strong enough to work with. And also, this is a great method for growing some Popeye forearms if that's an area that you are lacking in. Not to mention, hanging is great for allowing the spine to decompress and for helping enhance our shoulder mobility. Alright, now on to option 2. The same method for the support hold in option 1 will apply for option 2. So after you complete your support holds, move on to the compound superset. Here, our compound superset will be push-ups and rows. With your feet on the ground, it'll be much easier to manipulate the intensity needed for both of these exercises. So push yourself in a manner where you'll be able to perform 8 to 15 repetitions for the push-up and the row per set. Starting with push-ups, you have the option to go with a wide or neutral hand position. The lower the rings are to the ground and the closer you are to the anchor point, the harder the push-up will become. The same principle will apply here for tempo. Control the negative and squeeze at the top. For ring push-ups, you'll notice the difficulty increase just by bringing those hands together at the top and squeezing for 1 second. Get the most from this and contract your pecs at the top while bringing your fists together. Once you finish your push-ups, move on to the rows. Again, depending on your anchor point or intensity needed, you might have to change the height of the rings or your body position. Once they're set, go straight into those rows. For the rows, bring your chest to the rings, retract those shoulder blades, and keep some tension in your glutes. Again, controlled negatives. You can choose to pause at the top if that's an area that you want to improve on. After you've completed your rows, rest anywhere from 3 to 4 minutes and repeat the superset for 3 to 4 sets. Once you're done with your compound superset, you'll move on to your isolation superset. For option 2, we'll be using the rear delt fly and the chest fly. Place yourself in a position where you'll be able to perform anywhere from 8 to 15 repetitions for the rear delt fly and the chest fly per set. For the rear delt flies, place the rings near shoulder height and you'll be better off further behind the anchor point to get some solid repetitions in without making them super difficult. For these, it's on you to retract those shoulder blades at the top and keep tension in the rings. It's very easy to get lazy at the top with these. You have to make them worth your time. I also recommend 2 to 3 second negatives to make those posterior muscles work hard while lengthening. After you've completed your rear delt flies, move on forward to the chest flies. For the chest flies, you do not have to go past 90 at the bottom, so be careful here, and avoid any painful positions or ranges that you are not yet ready for. Keep those elbows below shoulder height as you descend and retract your shoulder blades. The same concept will apply here for getting lazy at the top, just like the rear delt flies. If you're using an intensity where you are almost standing at the starting position, you must make sure that you are contracting those pecs as you bring your hands together and squeeze. If you're using an intensity where your body is almost parallel to the ground, it'll be harder to get lazy at the top. Once you've completed your chest flies, rest anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes and repeat the superset for 3 to 4 sets. Again, just like option 1, we will be finishing with hangs using the same protocols. Alright guys, that is my gymnastic rings push-pull workout routine for beginner and intermediate individuals. Like I said in the beginning, you can manipulate this in any way that'll suit you best. You don't have to stick to the recommendations that I provided. If you like, you can implement this routine 2 to 3 times a week and bounce between these options based off your goals. Remember that this routine is geared towards hypertrophy and ring development. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and click that subscribe button down below for more content in the future. If you have any questions at all, please leave a comment down below and I look forward to answering them. Thank you guys for watching and enjoy the process.